So what we are going to do in the first session is understand 5 costly mistakes that hamper your productivity and profits. You must become productive and not busy. And there's a very fine line to understand between being productive and being busy. And that is what we will understand today. So everybody with pen and paper ready? Now I'm going to ask you to do one small exercise. This is the exercise that you have to do. Okay, why do you want to increase your productivity? And what are your current challenges? Please write down 3 reasons why you want to increase your productivity and 3 current challenges that you are facing. You've got about a minute left still. Azhar, please admit people. Huh?
Yeah.
Once you are done, please put it in the chat box. Done.
Can you please repeat the question once again?
It's there on the slide. Can you see the question on the slide?
Yes. Thank you.
So what do you want? Why do you want to increase your productivity? And what are your current challenges? This will help us understand, because when you will have these 3 questions and 3 challenges in front of you, while I'll go through the whole presentation, you'll be able to relate to them better. And then you will understand why certain things are done in a certain manner. All right. So what do we normally say? I mean, I want everybody to put it in the chat box. What do they understand by productivity? What do you mean by productivity? Please type it in the chat box. What do you understand by productivity? If we'll have a lot of interaction, then we'll have a lot of fun going through this 1 hour. Otherwise, it will be like, one way logo. Correct. More time, results. What else? Doing more in lesser time. Brilliant, Vinod. So I'll make you tell you what I understand by productivity. Productivity is very simple. Output divided by input. Everybody agrees with me, correct? Now, what is output? The amount produced by a person or a machine or a business or an industry. And what is input? What is put into a process or a system or a business? That is input. And that is what normally people say, this is the productivity. Now, if you take an example, and if you say productivity is what? As a lot of people say, getting the results you want with less time and effort. That is what Tony Robbins always says. This is what it is about. And we'll look at a lot of people say productivity. I want to tell you one important factor today. All right. And now this factor is very critical. I don't think a lot of people talk about this factor, but this is the factor which matters. And let me explain you why. And it is called productivity factor. Say in a company produces 15 crore worth of output monthly. All right. And the monthly value of all the inputs, that is labor, material, other costs, 11 crores, 50 lakh. So what that entails to? It entails to a productivity factor of 1.3. Now, this is the factor that you have to look at always, because this will give you a true picture as to whether your or your employees or your product or service increase of productivity has happened or no. I'll give you one more example on this to make you understand even better. Say, for example, your company started producing 20 crores worth of output monthly. You say, wow, from 15 crores, I've gone to 20 crores. My business has improved. But has the productivity and profit margins improved? Say, if your monthly value of all inputs has also increase proportionately to 15 crores, 38 lakhs. So what is your factor? The factor is still 1.3. So your production has improved. Your productivity has not improved. So this 1.3, you need to really take care of. If you can increase 1.3 to 1.4, 1.5, 1.6, 4, 5, anything, that is where the productivity factor comes into the picture. This is the figure that you should always look at and compare it month on month, quarter on quarter, year on year. Dear friends, let me introduce myself to you. I'm nimishmdesai, business efficiency consultant, and I'm an Amazon bestseller author of the book called The Power of Being Organized. I have more than 32 years experience in real estate industry. At Prescient Strategist, which is my company, we have trained more than 10,000 people across 12 nations, and we mentor and coach entrepreneurs to enable them to have an all-round 360-degree growth in their personal and professional life. We have more than 9 associates from different fields like law, diet, HR, company secretary to help us and help our clients do their day-to-day business, so that the responsibility lies with just one, that is Prescient Strategist. You don't need to run on everyone wasting your time with others. We take care totally with you. Now I'm going to tell you about the secret of personal productivity. Can anybody put in chat box again, what is the secret of personal productivity? Can anyone in the chat box? We need to have a chat box buzzing right throughout to have a real fun in this game. Best use of time, Nikhil is saying. I'm saying the secret of personal productivity is tea. Now, I'm not talking about the tea, chai, whatever we have in the morning and in the evening. It is TEAT. And now what does this T stands for? It simply stands for time, energy, and attention. Now, if you can maintain and effectively manage these 3 things very, very confidently, your productivity shoots up. These are the 3 things. And I am sure everybody here will agree. You need to manage time, you need to manage your energy, and you need to manage your focus. If you can manage all 3, your productivity just skyrockets. And it is not, something secret formula or a patented formula that you need to learn. You just need to be confident that yes, I can manage. And we are here today to help you understand how you can do all this. Now, sometimes what happens when we are really down and out, and probably a lot of you, most of us have worked today the whole day. So we may be a little down on energy. So what helps us at such times? A nice quote, a nice song, which peps up, which boosts our energy. So what we are going to do is, before we actually dive into those strategies, let's look at some of the inspirations, and we can hold thought on that. And let's see if this rings any bells to you. The first quote, he is one of my favorite crime writer, Franz Kafka. He says, your mind is for having ideas and not holding them. Lot of us have lot of ideas right throughout our life. But if you don't take action on those thoughts, you're not going to grow. So this itself is a big one, that you get ideas, but don't hold them in your head. Take action on them, because that is where the production happens. That is where the productivity comes. The next is, nothing is less productive than to make more efficient what should not be done at all. We are going to be discussing in detail about this, but this is so true. Unless you don't decide what you're going to do and what you're not going to do, there are chances that at times, things which are not important to you, you will be spending so much time on them that what things that you really need to look at, you forget to focus on them. And that is where your productivity hampers. The key is not to prioritize what's on your schedule, but to schedule your priorities. Again, in this session, we are going to talk on this, And Stephen Covey, I'm sure most of us know, he's a brilliant guy. The world knows him. And finally, stressing output is the key to improving the productivity, while looking into increasing activity can result in just the opposite. Now, this is a very brilliant one. If we want to go from A to D, and if you can go directly from A to B, why do you need B and C in between? Lot of us, in the name of systems and processes, put in so many processes in between, and our government is known for it. ये table से ये table, ये table से ये table, ये table से ये table, the file keeps rolling around, correct? So don't increase number of activities. Stress, focus on how much output you can get out with the less amount of activities. And the final one, the simple act of paying positive attention to people has a great deal to do with productivity. Now, dear friends, though we have machines, we have computers, we have laptops, we have everything, but we still need people to work on it. And if we don't show empathy towards the employees that are working with us, if we don't care for them, do you think they will care for us or our company? Yes, you are paying them, but they are working for you. That's done with. But if you show a lot of positive attention towards them, when you give them feedback, rather than shouting at them, initially try sitting with them and pointing out nicely where they've gone wrong. Believe me, they'll improve immensely. So pay a lot of positive attention to the people who are working with you. Just don't pay a lot of attention and empathy and understanding with your customers or clients. Pay to your employees also, and they will skyrocket your business. Believe me, customers and clients don't. It's your employees, it's your workers who take business to your next level. Because if they will produce business, the product and services of a finest quality, you will have customers and clients. But if your employees will not function to their optimum, your service and product is going to suffer. Customers and clients will vanish. It's your employees. Pay a lot of positive attention to them, and you'll have a great business with you. Now, a lot of trainers and webinars, they tell you that we will give you bonus strategies at the end or when you sign up and all those. I don't believe in that. I'm giving you 2 bonus strategies right up front. The first is trainings, and second is morning huddle. Now, what's training? A lot of us, again, in India especially, we have a prevalent thought process. I've paid employees, so they are supposed to work for me. Yes, agreed. But those employees, if you invest in improving their skills, improving their communication skills, improving their working skills, improving their technology skills, will it not help your company? A lot of people look at this training as a cost. I'm saying training is an investment for your own company. The way you change your laptop every 2-3 years because the laptops have changed, the way you change your mobile, you don't need to change your employees, but you can definitely upgrade their skills, upgrade their knowledge. And if your employees will know that my employer is interested in my growth also, they will all stay with you for a longer period of time because it's give and take. You can see here a lot of trainings we do where here we are putting, what we are doing is, this is an iron rod that people are bending by putting at their neck. This is what we are going to be doing in our 3-day boot camp retreat that we are going to do. This improves the trust level between employees because both have to start at the same time. Otherwise, the rod may go through the other guy's neck. That improves. So a lot of trainings are required for them. And this one is my favorite. This one we do it regularly, virtually every day. What we do, we go to our office, we go to our table, we go to our cabin, and we start working. Now, if you have a team under you, and if you're going to have just 10-minute morning huddle, standing, get them around and just have a chit chat and ask them what is there for today. Explain them what what you want from them today. What are your expectations for today's work? So what happens is everybody is going in the same line. It should not happen that one of the employees has thought, for me, this is important, so I'll do this today, Ajay. But for you, it could have been something else. So morning, just 10-minute huddle with your staff who's working under you. Just give them a normal chat, a standing meeting, so that it does not prolong for a longer period of time. And everybody for a whole day are focused in the same direction for the work. Now that brings me to 5 costly mistakes that we are going to do. But this also means that it's a poll time. So we are going to have a poll. Please answer to this poll. You people can see the poll, please.
Yes, sir.
Yep. So please take the poll. Come on, guys. I need a lot of interactions here. Because unless you will not answer them, you will not know. I will also not know what to talk, how much to talk, when to talk, what to talk. So let's get on to this. Last 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Done. So, do you plan your day every day? Yes, 64%. When do you plan your day? Before leaving home, 18%. After reaching office, 27%. After seeing what file on the table is 14%. One day before is 36%. And never done it is 5%. And what do you think you must plan for your day? Sometimes, never, always. Okay. So, our first costly mistake that a lot of people make is planning your day and how you plan your day. This is a very, very critical activity because this will decide how your day is going to go. So what you should do. But before I go there, I want to tell you one small story about Ivy League. Now, there's a brilliant and very successful conglomerate in USA. The owner was Charles Schwab. They were the top steel producing company in USA in 1918, 1-8. And he was very energetic. He wanted his team to always improve, always perform better. And he wanted his team's productivity to increase. So he approached Ivy League and he told him, what can you do for my employees? And what will be your fees? So believe me, guys, not only in India, even in USA in those days, they were saying, kitna deti hai, like Maruti ka ad, what will be your price? So Schwab asked him, what fees are you going to charge me? So Ivy League said, give me 3 months with your employees. Let me work with them. If my systems work, then you pay me whatever you feel is the worth of what I've worked with them. He worked with them for 3 months, and for sure, Ivy League's method worked. Can anybody put in the chat box what fees on his own Charles Schwab would have paid Ivy League? Can we have some participation, some numbers, $1,000, $2,000? What would it have been in 1918? $25,000, Nikhil bhai. Anyone else? 10% of the revenue. Okay. Who else? $10,000 is Munish. and Nikhil Bhai has attended my workshop before, so very smartly he put it up there, $25,000. Right. It is $25,000. Now, if you correlate that $25,000 in 1918 to today, it works out to about 4 crores in rupees. And I'm here to share that 4 crore worth formula, the secret, the method of Ivy League, absolutely free with you guys. So are you guys all ready with your paper and pen? It's a very simple 5-step formula. If you can attend this, you will be able to do it brilliantly. Now, what does Ivy League say? At the end of each workday, write down the 6 most important things you need to accomplish tomorrow. No more, no less. So you are supposed to plan one day before in the evening, before you close your office. Reason being, when you sit down to plan, and while you're planning, even if you take more time, it's okay because your office is actually over. But if you go in the day, when your day is going to start, then you are always in a rush. There are always certain deadlines that you have to meet. So you may plan all wrong. So it is better you plan one day in advance. He's talking of 6 most in 1918. We could have 4, 5, 8, depending on what post we hold and what kind of work we have. But just hold it there. We are going to marry this with another method later on. Take a few minutes to prioritize those 6 items in order of their importance. And this is what I want you to hold. Do not prioritize immediately. I'm going to give you another brilliant formula, a method, which married with Ivy League is going to give you a superlative results. But you have to prioritize them. Then you write, when you arrive next day, concentrate only on the first one he's saying, not the most important. Please mark that. Concentrate only on the first item until the first task is finished before moving to the next one. Work through the rest of your list in the same fashion. At the end of the day, any unfinished item, move to the following day. And repeat. And do you all believe this is very simple if you can really do it in your lifestyle? If you can ingrain this, that I want to plan one day before, we can do this, and this can really help us plan better. Let's have it. Please do not hesitate to put your thoughts in chat box, because that's the feedback that I'm looking at, and what all I should be stressing on, what all I should be brushing apart, and go ahead, because I don't want to repeat something that you already know. I would rather share something which you've not known before. So is this an easy one to attend to? Edwin, we'll have a discussion session, and that you can hold your questions for then, Edwin. Okay, now I want that pen and paper to be taken up again. Please write down what are the activities to be executed tomorrow by you. I'm giving you a minute to do this. Please write down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, as many activities that you plan to work on tomorrow. This will really help us, because when I'm going to talk about the other strategies later on, which are going to be married with this one, you will then realize how beautifully you can really maximize your day optimally, work for less number of hours, but have a maximum output. And that can happen only if you're going to write down just now. That will give you an understanding as to what you're going to do with those strategies also. Let's move ahead. Now I'm giving you 30 seconds. This is the first strategy that we discussed. Think, what does this mean to you? Which is a trigger point in your mind? And in what particular situation can you put this in action? Which is the action plan? What does this mean to you? And in what particular situation can you put this in action? Now, we come to the second costly mistake that you're going to make. But for that, again, I'm going to have poll. And here comes the poll. Please participate in this poll. Come on, friends. I need a lot of participation here on the poll. Come on, come on, come on. Very quickly, very quickly. We have 2 sessions today. We have to cover a lot of work. We need a very active and prompt response from you people. That's what the productivity is. Do it quickly, efficiently, smartly. So let's have a lot of results here. Let's have a lot of. You've got last 10 seconds now. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Gone. Now, these are the results. Do you make to-do list? Brilliant. Have you heard of not to-do list? Yes, 46% people have heard of it. Do you make not to-do list regularly? Brilliant. To-do list is like files and papers lying on your work table. Is this statement false or true? True. A lot of people. Wow. And to-do list has tendency to swell with more items getting included in it. 67% people agree to this. Now, what does that mean? That to-do list is dangerous to me. All right. So what we are going to do, we are going to, out of the 5, we did 1. Here we are going to do 2 together. That is NTDL and say no. All right. So what does this mean? Now, before I go there, I want to ask you one more question and I need answers in the chat box for this. What makes you more rich? Spending the money or saving or investing your money? Can we have answers in the chat box, please? What makes you more rich? Spending the money or saving or investing the money? Second one, Indu is saying investing, saving, investing. All right, brilliant, 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 brilliant. So my question to you all is, when it comes to money, everybody agrees that saving and investing money is what makes you rich. I'm saying, why shouldn't that? The same principle be applied to the time. You know, money, if you lose, say share market has crashed today by 10,000 points. Your investment was 1 crore, it has come down to 20 lakhs. If you sit patiently on it or work on it, you probably may go to 1 crore again. Correct? If you're not healthy, if you've fallen sick and you're not able to work, you will probably become healthy again. Time is one commodity which one lost. Nothing in this world can get it back for you. So in fact, more than money, more than your health, believe me, time is the most precious commodity that we are working and changing with. And this is one commodity, unfortunately, a lot of us misuse and do not give importance. Why? Because there is no tangential gains attached with it. You are not gaining any money. If I save 1 hour today, I'm going to get 1 lakh rupee. If you're going to give that somebody, you'll probably save it. Please, please work on your time brilliantly. You'll have so much time on your hand. And the people who keep saying that I don't have time will stop saying that. Now look at what Warren Buffett has to say. Don't say what is left after spending, but spend what is left after savings. Now, this holds good for money and time both. And these are all people who have with a lot of wisdom here. So what we'll do here, now I'm giving you two scenarios, okay? Scenario one, when you go to the office, would you like to see this scenario or would you like to see this scenario? Let's have it in the chat box. Which scenario would you like to see when you reach your office? Nikhil is saying one, Indu is saying two. So a lot of people are saying 1, 2, 1, 2 mix. I'm saying, do you want to see the scenario two where your table is all cluttered with lots of files and other things? Nobody wants to, correct? Now I'm getting a lot of ones here. So you want to see scenario one. Now, supposing when you reach office and you are in scenario two, what would you do? You normally clear your table, put everything aside, and then you'll pick up things from that you require just now to work on. Correct? If I'm saying what I'm saying is making sense to you, please type in the chat box, agree, 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 agree. I know, Indo, that's my favorite, also the plants. Yep, agree. So you need to clear out your table, then pick up what things you want and then work on it. The same thing applies here, not to-do list. Before you make your to-do list, you make your not to-do list. If you make your not to-do list first, believe me, your to-do list will not swell. Otherwise, your to-do list is an endless list. Everything is to do. And if you will not decide what you are not going to do, it's going to hamper a lot, for the simple reason that what you don't do determines what you can do. So decide all those mundane works. If you are an entrepreneur or if you are at a very high post, decide that all those mundane works, if you're for example, an entrepreneur or a solopreneur, don't do accounts by yourself. Don't do HR work by yourself. Delegate it, outsource it, because the amount of time that you're spending in those mundane work is not taking your company anywhere. You need to be having free time on your hand to have bigger visions for your company. Think about how your company is going to grow. You are not there to do 1 + 1 = 2 or aaj kitna kharcha hua aur kitna nahi hua. Please outsource those works or delegate it to somebody else. Only do the works that will move your company forward. This is one secret formula that I'm giving you. As an entrepreneur, as a CEO, as a senior guy, you will only do those works which is going to move your company forward. The works that are not going to move your company forward but are required to be done, please delegate or outsource those works. The only way for a super productive person to continue to grow professionally without going crazy is to periodically decide what you are not going to do. Now, he is another brilliant consultant in the world over. Please Google his name and you'll realize what he says. So what we come to, the things that we are not going to do, things which are going to say no to. No smartphone 24/7. In fact, when we are going to have retreat in Goa now, we are going to give each participant a pouch for their mobile. We're going to ask them to put the mobiles in that and put it aside so that you don't get disturbed. There is nothing in this world that cannot wait for 1 hour. I would request again, just now also, that's what was written on our front screen. Please mute your phone or put it away. You don't need, this is one of the biggest productivity buster and disruptor in the world today. It is a boon to have a smartphone, but if you don't use it smartly, it's going to kill your day. It's going to kill your productivity. Decide when you're really working onto something, put your phone on mute, not on vibrate, because vibrate will still draw your attention. Put it on a mute, put it upside down and keep it aside. Do that work, important work that you have to finish, and then look at the phone. That 1 hour phone, people, others can always wait. But the difference that you'll find if you'll do that without getting distracted, it's going to be an amazing results. Second is no emails first thing in the morning, or rather last thing in the night, for the simple reason that when you start in the morning and if you find a very disturbing email, your day is lost, because you are then only thinking about that email. You may be feeling angry about it or anxious about it or very scared about it. So you are not going to focus on your work. Please, there's a different subject we take up, which again, we are going to take it up in Goa. When to do your mundane works like this, if at all you want to do, like emails and other things, there's a certain time period that you need to fix. For example, if I have to tell you today, please do it after lunch, because once you've had lunch, you normally feel little, lazy. So that half an hour, you can do all those mundane work which don't require a lot of attention, which don't require a lot of energy. Do your emails, do your marketing, look at WhatsApp, do it after lunch. That would work better. No meetings or calls without agenda. Lot of time people call us. Arey Nimish bhai, aa jao na, kal meeting karte. My first question, and Nikhil bhai will agree here. What is the meeting? What is the agenda? And how long will it be? If you do not get the agenda, if you do not get the time as to how long the meeting is going to last, do not attend. Tell them I need it because I need to plan my day accordingly. You can't tell me half an hour meeting or 45 minutes meeting and it cannot stretch for 2 hours. How many of you have experienced that? Please type in the chat box that your meetings have kept going on and on and on. Let's see if anybody has, or everybody here is super efficient. Let's have it in the chat box. Happens, Hindu is saying. So you people, so don't agree to it. Tell them, send me an agenda, send me a time limit as to from what time to what time the meeting. People will then respect your time, will respect you, that he is not going to come for the meetings without, if you don't give them agenda. Do not overanalyze. And this always, when I talk about, reminds me of Amitabh Bachchan ka dialogue in Khuda Gawa, that सोच जब गहरी हो जाती है तो इरादे कमजोर हो जाते हैं खुदा बख्श. Don't overanalyze. We get into so much analyzing. Don't. You know what happens when you do overanalyze? You're not working on that service or the product that you're thinking about. Even if it's a half-baked thing, please put it across. You will learn from the mistakes, from the feedbacks that you will get from that, rather than you doing overanalyzing, worrying about things that may not happen. Because by doing overanalyzing, you are actually not going forward. Going forward is making the product. If you feel that this is, say, 90% right, put it out in the market. You'll get the feedback, you can always improve. But if you will try to always make it 100%, that product will never come out in the market. And by the time you may put, somebody else must have come out with a similar product. So do not overanalyze. As I told before, delegate and outsource the works that are not going to take your or your company forward. If you're working somewhere as an employee, if that thing is not taking you forward, please try and delegate it to somebody who's there under you. That does not mean you delegate everything, because you'll have to do something, but work on the cases which are more important, which really require your time and attention. Do not try to be perfect. As I said while I was discussing overanalyzing, imperfect step forward is a good step forward. Now I'll take you all back to the childhood, and this just came to me today. I've never spoken like this before. In none of them. Even probably Nikhil bhai must have never heard. Imagine when we were born and when we took our first step. Did we start walking straight away, or we fell out of time? We fell out of time. When we tried to learn cycling, did we learn from the first time we sat on the cycle, or we fell down from the cycle also a lot of times? So had you waited to be able to perfectly walk or perfectly do the cycling only, then you'll do, would you be walking today or would you have done cycling? Do not try to be perfect. Whatever you have with you, if you feel that product or service is good enough, please go forward. That you will get chance to improve upon, improvise upon, make it better. Do not try to be perfect. Nobody even, I mean, I'm a Hindu, so I can say in our scripture it is said even Rama was not perfect. So if Lord was not perfect, why are we trying to be? That's my theory of looking at it. And last, do not bring gadgets to bedroom. Bedroom is for recreation, for sleeping, and for resting. Lot of us, till the last moment we want to close our eyes, we are still on WhatsApp or on Google or now the latest trend, Clubhouse. Do not get gadgets in the bedroom. Dim your lights. You will get nice sleep. Your body needs rest. Your brain needs rest. All those gadgets are killing us. Why are we less healthy than our parents or grandparents? Simple reason. They had specific times for specific works. Beyond that, nothing. Do not get gadgets to the bedroom. Now I want you to write down 5 not to do list. I've got 30 seconds for you. Note down today after hearing to all this, which 5 things you are going to decide not to do from tomorrow. And while you're writing that, we are going to have 30 seconds for you again to decide what does this mean to you and in what particular situation can you put this in action. And I need some reactions here from you people to let me know how are you enjoying this session. Is it going good or are you feeling bored or you need a break or what it is? Can somebody write in the chat box? Thank you. Thank you, Mohammed. Thank you, Madan. This encourages me to deliver even better. And I would appreciate few more honest opinions in this. Thank you, Nikhil bhai. Thank you, Azhar. Thank you, Indu. Thank you all. This really humbles me that I'm delivering some value to you today for what you've come. Now, next one. And as we did for the first 2, we are going to have poll before we go to the strategy. Here's the poll. Please participate quickly so that we can move forward quickly. We have a lot to cover still. Last 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, gone. You know about income tax audit. Have you heard about time audit? Brilliant. Do you regularly do time audit? 25%. Brilliant. How often do you do time audit? Daily? Wow. 13% doing it. Superb. Weekly 4%, fortnightly 4%, never 50%, and monthly 29%. Brilliant people are doing time audit. but more than 50%, almost 50% people are not doing time audit. Do you have a specific time audit system? 13% are saying yes, wow, and 88% are saying no. So let's understand, and I'll tell you what kind of a time audit systems can you have. All right, now as I told you before, lot of us say कि sir time nahi hai, 24 hours is less for me. Okay, let me ask here, how many of you feel that 24 hours is less for you and you need more number of hours? How many of you need more than 24 hours? Let's have it in the chat box. Let the chat box buzz, friends. Indu is saying enough time, mind blowing, superb. Harish wants more time, brilliant. Who else wants more time? More than 24 hours. No, Mama doesn't want. Mama is enough, sufficient. Yes, brilliant. So I will not say enough time. Wow. So should I do time audit or I should not do time audit? Okay, what I'll do is I'll explain you where you can have at least 4 hours extra for you to do what you really want to do in life. All right. Now let's look at the numbers. The total number of hours in 1 week is 24 into 7, 168. Correct? Simple. Now what we do, we say 8 hours we are spending for work. So 48 hours are gone in the work hours. Travel hours, I'm saying you on an average travel 2 hours a day to and fro from the work. So 2 hours a day, 12 hours are gone there. Look at the number which is remaining balanced down below. The number of sleep hours, I'm saying 8 hours of sleep. People like me require about 5-6 hours. I'm good enough. But I'm on a calculation, I'm saying 8 hours a day you want to sleep. So 48. And I'm saying another 2 hours of miscellaneous works, travel or anything per day. You still have balanced number of hours per week, 48. Now there are a lot of smart people here, I know. And they must be very quietly thinking, okay, Nimish bhai calculated on 24/7, 168. So the loss is on 6 days. That is 8 into 6, 2 into 6, 1 full day. I'm saying your Sunday, 24 hours. Let's discount that. So 24 hours are gone. You still have 4 hours per day. I'm putting the whole Sunday out now. All right. So once I've put whole Sunday out, now I'm dividing 24 hours by 6 days. You still have 4 hours. Now there are a lot of women entrepreneurs here. They'll say, okay, what males think about, we have to cook, we have to do this, we have to do that. Agreed, madam. You have another 2 hours for that. You still have 2 hours per day to do what you want to do, what you love to do the most, subject to you doing the time audit, you managing your time well. That's the productive. And imagine if you can do for 2 hours your favorite hobby or something that you always wanted to do. Like I watch 2 hours every day OTT, come what may, either Netflix or Amazon or whatever it is, and I need 1 hour of reading time before I go to sleep. Otherwise I don't get sleep. And believe me, Nikhil bhai and a lot of other people know, for last 10 years I've been only working 5 hours a day. In fact, I'm writing a book, which is the next book that I'm coming up with, is 5-hour workday. A lot of us entrepreneurs can manage within 5 hours a day if you delegate work, if you outsource work smartly. And when you delegate and outsource, I'm not saying do not have a control on that, but don't do it. Delegate it, outsource it, and you do a lot of other work that you are supposed to do. And I have been doing brilliantly well with 5-hour workday. Laura VANDERKAM is one of the biggest time management gurus in the world today. Please look her up and you'll find. And what she has to say, we don't need that much time to do amazing things. Small moments can have a great power. Don't you all believe, even those 10 minutes of intimate time with our kids, those 20 minutes of listening to Mohammad Rafi, because I'm a fan of Mohammad Rafi, nice songs of Mohammad Rafi would really cheer us up, would really bump our energies again. You don't need great hours. You need small times, but if you can find those times while managing your time management properly, you'll have a great life tomorrow in your future. And the flip side of this, if you do not manage time, Parkinson said that your work expands so as to fill the time available for its completion. And believe me, most of us have experienced this, that if we are supposed to give something in the next week, we will start working 2 or 3 days before. And if for some reason, if that is postponed by another week, it's not that we'll finish and we'll go to something else. We'll put it aside and we'll do something else and we'll start again after that. At least when I was doing engineering from Tumkur, as I discussed before, Bangalore, if our exams got postponed, we used to put our books, start playing cricket. I'm a great fan of cricket. I played cricket up to district level. Go out, start playing cricket. Start sitting for exams only 1 week before. That's this principle. Work expands so as to fill the time available for its completion. Please take care of the time. In those young days, I did not, so I could not, but now I do. This is the sheet that I'm sharing with you. Now, this sheet, I devised it in 1993 when I was working for Hiranandani Construction. And a lot of my engineers, my supervisors used to say, sir, upar jaake slab check karna padta hai. We have to do this. We have to make this records. We don't get time to do. I said, okay, fine. Have a notebook of 100 pages with you. On every day, on a half-hourly basis, write down what you're doing. Now, if you will see here, it's a half hour. This is my timeline. You can take yours, mark it into important, unimportant, and waste, and put a remark here. Do this for a week at least. Actually try and fill and you realize how much time are we wasting every day in the name of being productive or in the name of being busy. If you really put your paper down, and you can take a screenshot if you want how to do it. What you have below is an Excel, which is the formula that has been put. You will realize how much time you're actually wasting. And if you'll see the time utilized to do unimportant work, you can actually outsource or delegate. Same for the time wasted in non-productive. So this is almost 54% of the time that my staff was wasting in the works that they were not supposed to do. So if you're working 10 hours and if it means 54% of time, that means for more than 5 hours, you're doing works which you could have either delegated or outsourced. Does that make sense? I'll give you another sheet. This is daily sheet if you don't like that. Put a start time, stop time, which activity you are doing, and the reason for the activity, and give the importance. Now, anything that you do, if you're eating because you're feeling hungry. If you're talking on the phone because you feel like talking or somebody's call, there is always a reason for any activity. So put an activity that you're doing for that time frame, give it a reason and give it an importance. And when you evaluate it at the end of the day, you yourself will find out how many activities could you have avoided on weekly basis. Then based on those important things that you mark, put the activities and put time spent. And then again, you'll realize how much time you can actually save by doing this. I'll give you 30 seconds here to think about this again. That what does this mean to you? And in what particular situation can you put this in action? This is a very, very powerful tool if you religiously will use it, and honestly if you'll put it down, because it is you only who's seeing those times. It is for your improvement. If you use this tool, you will save many hours. Now this brings us to one first testimonial that I'm going to share with you. There's a lot of previous participants who shared.
Good evening, Nimesh bhai. This is Neeraj Vashi from Nivale, a travel company based out of Mumbai, focused on specialized segments of travel. So as a travel company, there is always a thing where we need to do a parallel processing and get a lot of things thrown on our head and we need to do it. So I was wondering whether that was the right thing to do and whether I was planning my day properly. And the two time management webinars we had offered a great insight into the overall structure of how I should approach my day and how I should plan my time. And it was fantastic and definitely inspirational in terms of how look at things going forward. So thank you very much, Nimesh bhai, and I look forward to being part of such webinars in future. Thank you.
Okay, now we have discussion time here. So I'm stopping that. All the people who had questions, please put on your videos on so I can see your beautiful, handsome, smart faces. Let's come with the questions. Edwin, I think, had question. He had raised hand before. Anyone having any questions here? You can share your questions, then we can go forward. For everyone, it was crystal clear, or everybody just doesn't want to talk about it? I'm getting a little confused here. Clear. Thank you. Let's get to that now. Okay, please give me a minute and a half to tell you about what we do at Prescient Strategist. This is what we do at Prescient Strategist. Okay, we come to the final one, which is body energy cycle. Now, this is the one which I want you to marry with Ivy League method. What's body energy? I'm saying on one side is proficiency, on the other side is passion. We'll run through this very quickly because I think I'm going to overshoot. There are 4 zones because depending on proficiency and passion. If you have a low passion, low proficiency, that zone is called a disconnection zone. And what I'm talking about just now is a body energy cycle. Every one of us has our own body energy cycle. Somebody feels very energetic in the morning. Some people feel very energetic in the afternoon. People like me, I'm a night owl. I do most of my creative work from 10:30 in the night to 1:30 in the morning. That's my body energy cycle. That's where I feel more creative. So you need to understand your body cycle as to when are you feeling really energetic, when you feel sluggish, when you feel down and out. And those are the 4 zones that we are discussing here. When you require high proficiency and low passion, that is called disinterest zone. When there's a high passion and low proficiency, it is called escape zone. And when you have high passion and equally high proficiency, that's flow zone. Now, what all can come in these zones according to your body energy cycle. In disconnection zone, you can say, as I told you before, emails, calls, daily reports, because they do not require very high proficiency, they do not require very high passion. So do all your works in this time zone. Your disinterest zone, you can do marketing, staff calling, and all those things, because it requires high proficiency, but it does not require a lot of passion. For escape zone is the hobbies, music, reading, PPTs, if you love to make PPTs and all, because this is where you really escape from the real world, real work. And flow zone is one which is the most optimum. Big rocks, strategies, and creative work. So when you plan your Ivy League, 6 most important things, at the same time, if you take into consideration your body energy cycle, your most important activity could come in the afternoon. Now, I understand sometimes you may be running the time constraint and you may have to do it in the morning. That's okay. That's what you call exception to the rule. But as a rule, do your most important works in the flow zone, whichever time of the day it would be. If you marry this two, you're going to really rock. I'll give you a quick 30-second here to think about what was we discussed in the body energy cycle, and does that any really make sense to you? That, and I'm sure Azhar is going to talk about it as to in nutrition and health, that how your body energy cycle and your moods swing and how you have to control them. And that is where you can really marry up your nutrition with my strategies. Now, one more testimonial from one of our previous webinars.
Hello everyone, my name is Sheetal Bilkar and I am founder director of UBAC. So we are in profession of MEP services consultancy and we serve to construction industry. So recently I attended a very good webinar on time management strategies by Mr. Nimishmdesai. Initially, I thought, what they're going to teach, time management, I'm doing it very well, being women, we are always multitasker and we manage time very well. But actually, this webinar was eye-opener. There was a lot of takeaways from this webinar. So some changes I immediately did, like in my morning routine, Nimish sir advised me to take up the creative activity. So I pursue painting as a hobby. So I shifted my evening the activity of sketching to the morning activity, and I'm telling you, the creativity level increases so much when you take up this just this shift. Makes a lot of difference. And even the other methods also I have started implementing. Like I used to first complete the smaller task earlier and keep the bigger task at the end. But as per this webinar, I have now started doing this bigger task before. There was one more strategy which I have started implementing is writing down your to-do list for the next day, one day earlier, at night or somewhere in the evening. That has also started giving me very good results. So a lot of gratitude for Nimish Desai sir, and yeah, thank you so much.
So guys, I'm going to take just 10 minutes more. We are going to coming up with the beer project in Goa. It's a 3-day retreat in Goa from 22nd to 25th of July. Now, what can you expect in this? It's a very simple one. Beer means business efficiency enhancement retreat. It's a creative initiative to create an ecosystem for all the entrepreneurs to learn, grow, brainstorm. And this is the actual resort photograph. It is right at the edge of the beach where we will have a lot of work happening. And wifey. Now, this wifey, I don't mean by our wife, we call wifey lovingly and all. Wifey here means what's in it for you. So what exactly in it for you? You're going to be learning about visioning life by design, a unique methodology that will give you an insight into your life purpose, break limiting mental blocks, and enable you to design your life dreams. Because we are going to do a lot of activities like fire walk, glass walk, and all those things which would break your mental blocks. We are going to be doing challenges management. It's dedicated to empower and equip you with attitude and skills tools to create recession-proof strategies which can withstand challenges. And we are going to do productivity booster there to enable you to boost concentration, deepen your focus, turbocharge your energy, and beat procrastination to master your time. And finally, a lot of activities and collaborations can happen there. We are going to only take 20 people there because the resort is a very chic, unique boutique resort, and we have booked only for our participants. So what can you expect? Take charge of your personal and professional life. Sit back and evaluate what's going right, what is not in your personal and professional life. Get answers to all those questions. Enjoy loads of activities that we are going to do there. Work on your problems with the templates and workbooks that we'll be providing you there. And what's the investment for that? Single occupancy is 75,000. Double occupancy is 60,000. Group of 4 on twin sharing will be 55,000 plus GST. But hold on. There's a special rate for first 10 action takers. The single occupancy will be only 35,000. Double occupancy will be 30,000. And group of 4 will have this. Now this will include 3 nights and 4 days stay, all meals, 12 powerful sessions throughout 2.5 days, and loads of activities. Now what you can do is, you can book your seat today by paying just 5,000 plus GST. Balance you have to pay before 15th of July. Azhar, if you can put it in the chat box, the link for me, please. Life begins at the end of your comfort zone. Thank you very much. Azhar, did you put the link, please? Thank you, Azhar. So this is the link. This will take you to my web page. It will show you what all we are doing in this, what all is included, what all is not included in this. Anybody has a question, please tell me, and I'll be very happy to answer. And good to see you, Mr. Vijay Dalwani. If you can unmute and let's have your testimonial. You've attended quite a few sessions before.
Yes, good evening, Mr. Nimishmdesai. Sorry, I was not able to connect earlier. But yes, definitely I've attended your session quite a few times. And the best thing I learned is a lot of subtle tips on time management, and how do you make a list, which is we business people always make a to-do list, but you taught me how to make a not to-do list. The certain things which are not important I should be focusing on, and I've started to make a no to-do list every day, and it saves a lot of time for me. Thank you for these lovely tips.